Loving a senior dog is one of life's greatest gifts and one of its hardest journeys because as they slow down, we start to notice the little things, the hesitation before jumping up, the stiffness after a nap, the more naps they take during the day, the quiet moments where you wonder, gosh, are they in pain? And as dog owners, we would do anything, and I mean anything, to give them comfort, to give them more good days. And that is what today's episode is all about. A gentle, often overlooked way to help our dogs feel better, move better, and live their golden years with the dignity and ease they deserve. Welcome back to A Dog's Devotion, the podcast dedicated to helping you navigate every stage of your dog's life, especially the senior years when they need us most. I'm your host, Carla Basacki, and today we're talking about something many dog owners may not even realize is an option: canine chiropractic care. Joining us is Dr. Tanya Carswell, a dog chiropractor who is helping to shine a light on how alignment, mobility, and gentle adjustments can make a real difference in a dog's quality of life, especially as they age. From easing stiffness and discomfort to improving mobility and overall well-being, Dr. Tanya's work is all about giving our dogs more comfort, more ease, and more of those tail-wagging moments we cherish so deeply. If you've ever looked at your dog and wished you could take away their pain, this episode is for you. We've got so much to talk about. I think canine chiropractic care is so interesting. Not a lot of people know about it or use it. So I'm thrilled to have you here, Dr. Tanya. Thank you for joining me and shining a light on this really important topic.
Thanks for having me, Carla. I'm
Oh
super
my gosh. Okay.
big ass. Yeah.
How, for those people out there who don't know, is canine chiropractic care basically the same as human chiropractic care?
Yes, they're pretty much the same. Every spine is the same no matter what, whether it's human, animals. Animals, humans, they both benefit from chiropractic care. So yes, they're the same, but it's all chiropractic care is all focused on holistic approach with the primary focus of spinal realignment and just resetting their neurological system.
Right. When you get a new patient, when you get a new dog that comes in, do the owners bring it in because they think there's something wrong, or they just want to do upkeep? You know, what is it that brings them in to see you?
95% of the calls that I get or the patients that I have is because something's wrong with my animal. A lot of times, dog owners wake up in the morning, my dog can't walk. What's going on? And so it's usually something has happened within the last couple days where the dog's not able to walk or they're seeing changes in behavior. And then usually, unfortunately, sometimes I'm the last resort. So being the last resort, puts a little bit of pressure on me, but I go in and I do what I gotta do.
Right.
Yeah.
Do Is chiropractic care for dogs becoming more popular?
Yes.
It is.
Yes. Yeah. What are we all looking for? We're looking for the holistic approach.
Right.
We're looking for not only the holistic approach, but how can I, as a human or even my animal, take care of them without so much medication? Now, is medication bad? Absolutely not. We all need medication for certain things. But there's people out there that's just like, "You know what? I need a holistic approach. Chiropractic's helped me, so why can't it help my dog?"
Right. Now, if somebody takes their dog to you, you don't replace a veterinarian. They still need both, right?
Absolutely, we work hand in hand. Not only veterinarians, but veterinary neurologists as well.
Okay, you do.
Yes.
I think what you do is amazing. I mean, to help animals and obviously help the animals' owners to feel
Yes.
better, because there's nothing worse when your pet is sick and can't walk. Gosh, I've been through that so many times with Max. I'd cry all day because I didn't know what was wrong with them. What inspired you to specialize in this field?
That's a good one. So, I had the same exact problem happen to me as a lot of the dog owners that come to me. Woke up one morning, I'm a big boxer lover. Actually, I have 3 boxers now. I have 2 that are siblings that are 3 years old. I don't know what I was thinking,
Right.
but anyways, Titus at the time, he was only 5 years old, and he started developing this shaking in his back legs. So, neurologists, orthopedic, I was one of those that spent tens, thousands of dollars trying to figure out what is going on with Titus. We couldn't figure it out. No one knew. So it's like cage rest, giving medication, and
Yeah.
we don't know. So I was actually in chiropractic school, and my radiology doctor said, Tanya, bring Titus up next weekend. I'm an animal chiropractor. We'll do some adjustments on him. Oh, I'll need your veterinary clearance, but we'll do some adjustments on him and we'll see, we'll take care of it pretty much in a roundabout way. Carla, I kid you not, after the first adjustment, Titus no longer had that shaking
No.
at all. Titus actually died at the age of 10, not from anything neurologically. He died from a tumor in his heart that caused that ended his life pretty much. Titus was my story of, hey, this is what I want to do. So I finished
Wow.
chiropractic school and then did it's not a dissertation, but I just went in and specialized in animal chiropractic.
Interesting. So I was going to ask you, my next question is, when would a dog need a chiropractor in the first place? Like, at what point would I know, like you said, your dog had the shakes, my dog couldn't walk. At what point does somebody not go to their veterinarian for pills and just pain pills to make the dog feel a little bit better, but get down to the root of the problem, the more holistic approach? What point does the owner say, "Okay, let's try chiropractor"?
Well, like I said earlier, a lot of times the owners, I'm their last resort because, they can't afford tens, thousands of dollars for surgery or for MRI. So they're like, wait a minute. If chiropractic care has helped myself personally, I've had back adjustments, I've had back pain, and it's gotten rid of that. I wonder if there's an animal chiropractor. So they start doing the Googling, they start doing the research, and then my name pops up and then they call me. So a lot of times I have my little group that's all holistic that starts as a puppy age of bringing their dogs in to go ahead and just start preventative care. But a lot of times it's when it's the last resort, their dog is already not able to walk or they're seeing, it just changes.
Right. I'm curious then, you talk about last resort. Can chiropractic care for a dog help have it live a longer life? Can what you do fix things that we don't know are broke that will help it last longer?
Yeah, and I'm getting teary-eyed with this one because, absolutely. I have patients all the time to say, "You know what, Dr. Carswell, thank you, thank you, thank you. My dog actually, I got another year, I got another 2 years, I got another 3 years. I got another 5 years out of my dog, and my dog did not die because of what was going on. It died because of some internal issues that we didn't know about, you know, or age ended up being the cause of death." Not the problem, because we went in, we found the root cause, we started taking care of the animal, and we got the animal back to the quality of life that the pet parents and the animal wanted to have.
So then basically, is this true or not? Would you be able to keep a dog alive longer? Like, a lot of people euthanize animals for various reasons.
Mm.
Unfortunately, I've had to do it in my past years as well with the dog. But can you help with that?
Yes, most definitely. I can. Because, if we don't know what's going on with the animal and their spine is out of alignment just a little bit and it's putting pressure on the nerves, causing the animal not to be able to walk, but we're not seeing it with MRI, we're not seeing it with x-rays. And, we've done veterinarian care, we've done the ortho, we've done the neuro, and then I come in and I start doing some adjustments and the animal starts walking again. Absolutely.
That's amazing to me. Are there certain breeds or types of dogs that benefit more from this than others?
Well, every animal benefits, just like,
Yeah.
with humans. I have people to ask, like I said earlier, who do you adjust? Anything that has a spine. But
Right.
a lot of times the French bulldogs, the dash hounds, the basset hounds, the dogs that have the longer
The
spine,
longer body. Right.
but yeah, but then it's compact into such a smaller body, especially like French bulldogs or pit bulls, those animals there because they're so big and so muscular, so bulky, but their spine is only a certain length no matter what.
Right.
So, you get a little French bulldog and their spine is X amount of inches long. That spine's still going to be X amount of inches long, but the body is X amount of inches shorter. Of course, that's going to cause issues with the spine.
Hmm. Can you walk me through when a dog comes into your office? I've seen a chiropractor for years, so I know what it's like. But is it the same process with the dog? You feel its spine and you make the adjustments on it as you see fit?
Yeah. So, number one, I do not have an office. I'm mobile.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's even better.
Yes. You
People
know,
must love that.
think about it. You have a Great Dane or you have a 200-pound dog that's lame. That's the last thing you want to do is put the dog in a car and try to drive 30 minutes to an hour. So, no. So number one, I do come to you.
Okay.
You're mobile, okay? And then it's just like chiropractic care, you go in, you have your exam. I do the palpation through the spine.
Yeah.
I need to find out if sometimes the dogs will even tell me because they'll turn around and look at me or their skin will flinch or they'll move away from me and they'll tell me, "Hey, that's a painful area." Okay? Or what I explain to all of my pet parents is if you press down on a cushion and you have a little bit of spring, okay, or you have a little bit of softness and give. That's what we want in the spine. We want that bounce back. But if I press like on the wall behind me, there's no spring, there's no bounce back. It's all hard. Those hard areas are the areas in chiropractic care that we call subluxation. That means that's where the joints are not moving properly.
Right.
So, I'll do palpation, I'll do some neurological testing. There's quite a different things that I will do just to find out where this is actually coming from.
Right. Do you use an instrument or do you use your hands?
Good question. So I use what you call an activator. And I don't know if you can hear this or not, but it's a very quiet, spring loaded handheld tool.
Right.
This is what I use, and here's why. A lot of people do not like to go to chiropractors. Why? Because they do not like to hear the popping sound of the
Of
joint
their
releasing.
neck.
Correct,
Yes.
especially of their neck. They're
Yeah.
afraid that we're gonna break their neck. Number 1, we cannot, okay? I don't have enough pressure. But so you take a human that is afraid, I can distract you by talking to you. My number 1 thing is say your alphabet backwards from R. Go ahead and do that. Play along with me. Say it from R. Can you do that?
No.
Okay. You know
R, I don't ABC, I have to start from A and go to R and then go backwards.
you know
No.
what? I don't care because you know what just happened? Whenever I told you to do that, you started laughing. What did you think about? Let's impress the doctor. Let's try to say our alphabet backwards.
Right.
The adjustment is done on my human patients because you were thinking about me.
You're a trickster.
There you go. But I cannot do that with animals. Okay.
Right.
There's no way I can distract them. So that's why I use the activator instead, because then their muscles are not fighting me, are not resisting me.
And they're not tense, I
They're
guess.
not tense.
Okay.
So then whenever I go in to deliver the adjustment with the tool, I don't have to worry about injury.
Now do the animals feel I know when I saw a chiropractor with for my neck, I felt the difference right away. The relief in your neck, is just incredible. Anyone who goes to a chiropractor knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Are dogs the same? Do they have that relief right away?
Some dogs do. I have
Yeah,
actually seen dogs before not able to walk and then get up and walk in 15, 20 minutes. Or an hour or 2 hours later, I get a video from the pet owner. Look at what's happening. Now, is the dog walking 100% like he or she was? Absolutely not. But you know what? We have all 4 feet on the ground. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
For people at home, what are some signs that their dog might be out of alignment?
That's a great question because a lot of times people like, how do I know? Right.
Right.
One, if they're lethargic, they're not wanting to play as much. Our animals love whenever we come home. If your dog is not meeting you at the door, that's a sign of pain or that's a sign of something is going on. Okay. Not wanting to jump up on the bed or up on the couch. I get phone calls all the time. My dog's not jumping up on the bed or my dog's not jumping up on the couch. Something's got to be wrong with their back. So, like any type of signs and symptoms, or they're laying around and then they get up a few seconds later and they jump up really quick and they move and then they lay back down. Jump up a few seconds later and they move, they lay back down because they're not comfortable. That can also be a sign.
Right. So, in my experience with Max, I mean, Max was 14 and had arthritis, and I knew the vet had told me he had arthritis, so he was getting shots for arthritis. but I was picking him up and putting him on the bed and picking him up and putting him in the car, and we went for shorter walks, and I let him decide how long we would go or, what we would do depending on how he felt. And this kills me to even ask this question because it could have helped him, but with chiropractor care, that would have helped him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is what a lot of, just like with you right now, a lot of pet parents start to feel guilty. Like, if I would have known, but it was just the right time, the right place. It wasn't for your dog, it was just, it was time, and I hate to say that, but can we prevent that? And that's what we're trying to do today. Absolutely. Just those little slight adjustments can allow the spine to start moving better, or the hips, or the knees, or the ankles, whatever joint. And if we can get a little more mobility, then that prevents that joint from freezing up.
Right.
And that's what arthritis is our arthritis is the lack of mobility in that certain area. Yeah.
Right. Gosh, I wish I had met you 3 years ago.
I know. Me too. Me too. Because I would have loved to help you guys for sure.
Yeah. How often I mean, I used to go see a chiropractor once a week. How often should a dog see a chiropractor? Is this ongoing? Is this a couple sessions and then they're okay? How does that work?
So usually what I tell pet parents is once a week for about 4 to 6 treatments. Okay. Why do I say about 4 to 6 treatments? Animals, they recover much faster than us humans do. And
They do.
there's research to prove that. Okay. So like I said, sometimes I'll go in, I'll adjust a dog. And after the first visit, the dog is feeling great. That's good. But we want to keep that up. Okay. So that's why I'm saying between 4 to 6 visits to start out with. Okay. We want to get the spine in nice alignment and keep it there. And then I start to spread things out once every 2 weeks, for a couple weeks. And then we go on a monthly basis. And that monthly is just maintenance. It's like
Right.
getting oil changed in your car. If you don't do that, your car is going to fail you before it should. So play it around with a couple months, come back and see me. But the sweet spot has been once a month, especially for animals that have disc issues, arthritis, if they have some really, really nasty issues that we've had to deal with. Now, there
Right.
are some times where if your animal's in acute phase, I may see them twice a week for a few weeks, but it's very rarely that I do that because I want their body to heal itself as well.
Right. I was just thinking, I love the fact that you are mobile and you go to the dog's home because at least they feel more comfortable. Not
Yes.
only does it save the dog owners from driving their poor dog who's in pain to you, but at least they're in their own environment. And I think that would be a big help.
Yes, yes. And I started out at the beginning in scrubs, trying to look professional, you know,
Yeah.
but the animals knew really quick. I walked in the door with scrubs on. They knew that I was there to see them. So now I'm in like the polo that you see me in and a pair of like gym pants. So I try to
Right.
be as casual as possible, but professional enough so that the animal feels comfortable with me coming into the home. Yeah.
Yeah, dogs are very sensitive. It's like they know when they're going to the vet's
Right.
office, right? You
Yep.
don't even get to the front door and they're already running back out.
Oh, yeah, 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 I know, sorry to interrupt, but the funny part is I have a van as well because I 'cause I'm a human chiropractor, and that's
Right.
my mobile office is my van, but sometimes if the animals see my van, they think I'm a groomer, everything, all the treatments are done in-house when it comes to the dogs, yeah.
Have you seen changes in behavior as well as physical health?
Especially yes, especially in my seniors. I will look at the pet parents even after the first adjustment, and I'll smile and I'll laugh a little bit, and I will tell them, "I am not responsible of what's getting ready to happen within the next 2 to 3 treatments, because the dog that you see right now is gonna revert back to the puppy phases. They're gonna have more energy, they're gonna wanna walk more." "No, no, no, I don't believe it." And I will have pet parents to look at me and say, "Okay, Dr. Carswell, we need to like dial this down a couple notches because my dog is walking me to death and I'm not used to this anymore." Yes, yes. So I always say that to all my, especially my senior pet parents. Yeah. I'm not responsible, but I always have that smile on my face because I cannot wait until they're able to tell me that because I know that that's what they're wanting.
I think it's so important because as dogs slow down, they're not walking as fast, they're not as energetic. And if you can help ease their pain and give them a longer life without so much pain, what a great job you have, Dr.
Yeah.
Tanya.
I had a boxer, my own personal boxer, to live for 16 years.
Wow.
16 years. And, she actually died of a brain tumor. It wasn't because of her back or hind legs or anything giving out. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Is there, I know you've talked about your own dog, but is there another story or another dog that completely transformed the way you were thinking or the dog's life? Is there a story that really stands out in your
Yeah, so I have one little French bulldog. She was actually referred to me from a veterinary neurologist. Was on the borderline of having the disc to completely herniate. The dog was still able to walk, but you could tell its gait, it was starting to drag the back legs a lot. The veterinary neurologist was like, "There's nothing, the dog is not a surgical candidate, you know, but here's what I'm gonna do. I want you to go see Dr. Carl." You know, Dr. Carswell and I, we work hand in hand. We work very well together. Dr. Carswell we'll start the treatment and we'll get it's Mademoiselle. I'm gonna use her name, and I know I can't because 'cause I've had permission, but we'll get Mademoiselle up and going, and Mademoiselle is still flourishing till this day, and this has been
Wow.
4 years ago? Yeah, but I have so many stories to tell.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Is there something that dog owners can do at home to support their dog's alignment and health as they get older? Like, is there something that I can do? I've got a new little Yorkie, he's 7,
Huh?
but is there things that I can do to make sure that he stays in alignment or keep an eye on him, so I don't have to actually, I should call you and tell you to fix my dog and my neck. We can come and do
Yeah.
both at the same time.
Yeah,
Something that I can do to help him as he gets older?
if I can give any advice, don't wait. Do not wait until something happens. Go ahead and start treatments now, okay? Because if we can start treatments now, then we're going to have a successful years of senior health. If I can say anything, that's what I would say is don't wait. Don't wait for a sign, you know. Don't wait to hear the toes dragging on the asphalt whenever you're walking the dog. You know, don't wait to look down at the toenails and some of the toenails be shorter than the other ones at a continuous basis because you really don't realize that, hey, my dog's already dragging his feet. Don't wait for your dog not to be able to jump up on the couch. Don't wait for those signs to see those signs. Go ahead and get started now so that we don't have these issues to come. You know, my little girls at the age of 3 months, they got adjusted. Right whenever I put my hands on them, that's the first thing happened is they were adjusted. So
Wow.
chiropractic care is number 1, of course. And then there's some supplements that I like to use in conjunction with my treatments. And it's a company called Nuvet Labs that's out of California. Yeah, because it's only has 4 ingredients. That's it. No inactive ingredients like protein or cornstarch, no, canola oil, no vegetable oil, none of that stuff that causes inflammation. It's 4 ingredients, and it's made with liver. End of story.
So this is something that you should have your dogs on all the time then, by the
All the
sounds of it.
time, all the time, all the time. Yet again, my girls at the age of 6 months, I went
Yeah.
ahead and started them on the glucosamine supplements through Nuvet Labs.
Okay.
Yeah, so, like I said, don't wait. Get things going now.
Oh god, I wish, it just makes me cry when I think, that I wish I would have known earlier.
Yeah,
But we having this conversation can help other people not go through what
yeah,
I went through.
yeah.
What are some of we've talked about all the good things, and there's a ton of good things, but I'm sure there's some big misconceptions about dog chiropractic care. What have you heard or seen that is you think is ridiculous or that people need to learn? Oh, listen, that's not right.
Well, here's my first thing. If you do not believe in chiropractic care and your dog is not able to walk or your dog is having issues and you come and you see me and then after a couple visits you see changes in your dogs, it's not a placebo. People think, oh, chiropractic care is a placebo. Your dogs don't know what's going on. They don't know that they just got adjusted from a chiropractor. Their body's just responding. So that is one thing. Definitely chiropractic care is not a placebo for sure.
Is there anything people are skeptical about that you'd love to clear up?
That's a big one, of can this hurt my dog? That's a big one. Can my dog be injured from this? Absolutely not, because this little tool right here is all I use to take care of the adjustments, the spinal alignment on the
Right.
joint. Yeah, yeah. Here's another one too. A lot of I do have pet parents that go to chiropractors, and I'm a chiropractor as well. I love to hear the
Yeah.
pops and the cracks of humans getting adjusted, but it's gases being released from the joints. So I will have pet parents to look at me and say, well, but I'm not hearing anything pop or crack. So are you really doing anything? Are you really adjusting my dog? Absolutely. Yes, I am. You don't have to hear
Ah.
the pops and cracks. Pops and cracks are just gas being released from the joint.
You know what? I didn't know that because every time I used to crave that crack when I was back home in Toronto, and I see the chiropractor and hearing that crack of my neck, and be like, "Oh, yes." That release, right?
The popping or the cracking that you hear is just the gas. Your bones are
Wow.
still being realigned, you know? There are some people where you adjust them and you don't hear any pops or cracks, but I go back and I feel and I palpate to see if that joint is moving, and if that joint is moving, then I know I've done the adjustment without the
Right.
pops or the cracks. Yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah,
For someone who, we've talked about the benefits. I mean, there's so many benefits. The fact that you're mobile is great. How does somebody find a good chiropractor for someone who's not in this area, who lives somewhere else in the US, and we're in the Florida area, you're Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach, Miami. But what if somebody's in New York and they're looking for a dog chiropractor? How do you know that one's a good one and one's a bad?
right, right. And that's a good question. I am VOM certified. VOM stands for veterinary orthopedic manipulation. Okay.
Right.
My VOM certification was through a veterinary neurologist and a chiropractor that got together many, many years ago. The veterinary neurologist was like, I'm tired of putting animals to sleep because they're 2, 3 years old. I don't know what's going on, you know? So he partnered with his name is Doctor, William Inman. He partnered with a chiropractor. They developed the VOM technique. So the VOM technique means that, of course, we're specialized in using the activator instead of hands-on techniques, okay?
Right.
My personal opinion, I mean, we have both out there. We have, animal chiropractors that do the hands-on approach, and then we have the animal chiropractors that use the activator. My personal experience is the activator, the dogs have just they flourish no matter what, but the response with that, it's not as abrasive, I guess you can say. I hate to use that word, but it's not as shocking to the animal, of
Right.
twisting and hearing the popping sounds and the cracking. They can reach out to me or look for it's called VomTech, VOMTECH.com. And
Okay.
there will be a list of the Vom practitioners in their area.
Oh, that's perfect.
Ask your chiropractor. Your chiropractor
You're
may
all
be
like your human chiropractor.
your human chiropractor. Yeah.
Okay. Good to know.
And there are some veterinarians as well that practice chiropractic.
See, I
So
didn't know that.
yes, yes, there are veterinarians as well that have gone through even money training with the Vom Tech, with the Vom technique. Yes.
Well, I believe in it. I know how it's helped me, and I've certainly seen it help other dogs after, unfortunately, Max passed. I really wish, but I can't do anything about it now. I can only take care of the dogs that I have now. So for someone who is going through what I went through with Max, 2.5 years ago, they're on the fence, they don't know what to do. What would you say to them?
Don't wait. Just nothing else. Just have a consultation with someone. You know, a lot of times, even talking with someone, like an animal care practitioner, talking with someone about this, and you can get a feeling of trust if you trust them or not, if you feel comfortable with them. A lot of times, if you feel comfortable with them, your animal's going to feel comfortable with them as well. So, you know what? Don't wait. Just reach out. It doesn't hurt anything to reach out and ask the questions.
Right. No, it
That's the
doesn't.
main thing, it doesn't.
Right. Oh, my heart. Well, I think your job is super rewarding, Dr. Tanya, and the dog owners that you work with must be so grateful to
I love
you.
what I do. I tell people all the time, I don't work, I play all day, and
Yeah,
that's what I do. I mean, I love what I do. Yeah, I do.
yeah, and you know what? You're releasing some of the pain that their dogs are in, and they're living longer. They're living longer without pain.
Right, right. Yeah. And chiropractic care, even think about it like this. Even if your dog's 4 or 5 years old, you're never going to spend tens of thousands of dollars on chiropractic care. That will never happen. But spend what you need to get them where they need to be so that you can have those senior moments with your dog. You know,
Right.
you can. You can have, you see your dog's gray. I don't call it graying, I call it sugar face. So you
Ah,
can
cute.
have them at that sugar face moment.
Right.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what we live for is our animals to become a sugar face. Yeah.
100%. Well, thank you, Dr.
You're
Tanya, for
welcome.
joining me.
You're welcome. It's a
I
pleasure,
really appreciate it.
and like I said, prevention is the key. Prevent,
Right.
prevent, prevent.
And don't wait.
Do not
Don't
wait.
wait until it's too late.
Yeah.
Is
Just like
what
us
my
as
big
humans,
takeaway.
we
Yeah.
don't need to wait until it's too late because when it's too
Yeah.
late, it's hard to go back.
Yeah. So true.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome,
Thank
Carl.
you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
And I know you're a dog lover like me. Our dogs give us everything. They give us loyalty, love. Actually, they give us their entire lives. And when they get older, when their bodies begin to slow down, that is our time to give back to them in every way we can. And that's exactly what you're doing.
Yes.
And sometimes it's the smallest, gentlest things that make the biggest difference. A little more comfort, a little more mobility, a little more relief. Dr. Tanya, today you reminded us that there are options, hopeful, healing options that can help our dogs not just live longer, but live better. And in the end, gosh, that's what we all want. More good days, more walks, and more moments. Sorry, I'm going to cry. Thank you for being here. Thank you for loving your dogs the way you do. And thanks for everything you do for giving them the kind of life that they deserve. I appreciate it.
Thank you again.
Thank you. You have a great day. And thanks for all the information. I hope we inspired people not to wait.
Yes. And feel free, anybody that's watching this, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'll be more than happy to try to guide you guys down the right path, because like I said, and I'll say it one more time, my number one goal is to prevent your little four-legged furry friends, your best friends, from having to be euthanized because we don't know what else to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
On that note, thank you so much.
Thanks. Have a great weekend.
Okay. Thank you. You too.
Take care.
Take care.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
And that's a wrap on another unforgettable story from the heart. Because when it comes to love, loyalty, and second chances, no one does it better than our dogs. They find us when we're lost, lift us when we're low, and teach us what true devotion really looks like. Thanks for listening. And remember, in this wild world, we're all just trying to find our way home. Sometimes it takes 4 paws to lead us there. So give your pup an extra cuddle today and cherish your time with him. Give him some extra treats too. I know he'll love them. This podcast is in honor of my best buddy, Max.